Hey everybody, good morning. Welcome back to Blu-Roy Movies. I hope we're all doing well. And it's time for the weekly watches. Now, the next 2 or 3 weekends, I'm rather busy. Thank you for that, Cosmo. I'm a little bit busy, one thing or another, working. Next Saturday, meeting up with some fellow YouTubers and friends, which I'm sure you'll hear more about that in good haste. So it's Friday and I'm recording the weekly watches. I'm not sure what day I'll put this out yet. I might put it out today. So if it is a Friday you're watching, have a nice weekend. If not, it'll be either Saturday morning or Sunday morning. I'll upload it, but it'll be done one of the days anyway. We're talking about 8 films this week. Yeah, standard sort of numbers. 8, 9 seems to be what I normally put in. So let's get on with this. Let's talk about some films. Right, first one off the bat this week, we've got McLintock from 1963, directed by Andrew McLaughlin, and this stars obviously the Duke John Wayne, Maureen O'Hara, Patrick Wayne, his son, and I tell you what, he's good, Patrick Wayne. I really like Patrick Wayne. I think he's very underrated. Not obviously he's not as good as his dad, but he had this chiselled jaw leading man for me. Yeah, I've enjoyed everything he's been in. Stephanie Powell's, Chill Wills, amongst a host of others. Now, every time I watch a film, I always have a look on Letterboxd afterwards to see if I agree with the reviews on there. And though I do like Letterboxd and find it an invaluable tool for charting your movie watching process and what actors you've seen in what films, how many of each director's films you've seen, stuff like that. Oh my god, it's a hive of wokery at times. 'Cause I was watching this and there's two spanking scenes where women get spanked bottoms because they haven't been behaving themselves, and I just knew it was going to get absolutely pilloried and slaughtered by the Gen Z woke brigade, and yeah, they hated it, but it did amuse me. Yes, this is all about John Wayne's character. He's a wealthy guy out in the west. He's got a ranch. He's a cowman. He's got lots of cattle. Doing really well in life. He's well respected. His workers all seem to like working for him, and he seems to get on well with them all. The local townspeople, for the whole part of, he's well respected. In fact, like a lot of the towns named after him, even the Native American Indians, he does what he can for them, with the officials trying to push them out onto the reservation and stuff like that. Yeah, so he's a well-regarded chap. Hard drinking. Every time he gets drunk, he throws his hat onto the weathercock on the top of the roof, and this happens 4 or 5 times a week, and they have to fetch it down next morning. Anyway, everything goes to pot in his life when his daughter decides she's going to go and live with John Wayne, and this brings along the ex-wife. Now, the ex-wife, Maureen O'Hara, is one of the girls who gets spanked, is, let's say, a very difficult lady. But there's a lot of good fun about it. There's a lot of good jokes and very light-hearted comedy western, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. There's one scene where there's this massive punch-up, and everybody keeps falling down this muddy bank and landing in muddy water below. Yeah, really, really good fun. I really enjoyed McLintock. I've got KL to watch sometime this week. I think it's the same director, McLaughlin again. Some great westerns he directed. Yeah, really good way to kick off the week. McLintock, you can't beat a bit of the Duke. And to follow that up, we went with Cape Fear from 1962, directed by J. Lee Thompson, starring Gregory Peck, the brilliant Robert Mitchum, Polly Bergen, Martin Balsam, like Martin Balsam, and Telly Savalas. He also had a small part in this. Now, a lot of people prefer the remake over this, which is very, very good. Don't get me wrong, Martin Scorsese, you can't go wrong. But by a fag paper, I think I just prefer this version of Cape Fear. For me, I prefer Mitchum's portrayal of Max Cady. He's very quiet, he's very confident and self-assured in his own abilities to be this evil git that he is. A very, very menacing character. Right up there with Night of the Hunter for me. I think they're both on a par as menacing characters from Mitchum's career. And yeah, I do like De Niro's portrayal of Max Cady, but for me, it's a lot more cartoonish. It's a lot more outgoing. Where, like I say, Mitchum is just this quiet, self-assured, evil, creepy git. Yeah, really enjoyed this one. And like I say, just a bit better than the Scorsese version for me. For people who's not aware of the synopsis, this is about Gregory Peck, and he's an attorney, and he witnessed Robert Mitchum committing crime, which ended up in Mitchum getting 8 years or so in prison. And when Mitchum came out, he decided he'll try and get even with Gregory Peck and try and get his own back. Yeah, really good, tense thriller that I could just watch this time and time and again. Yeah, I reckon this is an awesome film. Like I say, Telly Savalas, cameo part as a private eye as well. Polly Bergen as Peck's wife, very good. Yeah, good film. Good, tense, not noir, look, just like a crime thriller. Yeah, good stuff. And next we've got Out of the Past from 1947, directed by Jacques Tournoir, starring Robert Mitchum again, Jane Greer, Kirk Douglas, Rhonda Fleming, Richard Webb. And I've had this on the shelves for quite a while, and I was saving it up for the so-called Noirvember, month of November, where everybody seems to get into film noir. But for me, film noir's for all year round. Like a dog isn't just for Christmas. Film noir is for all year round. Yeah, Out of the Past. Really, really enjoyed this. This is brilliant film noir. Robert Mitchum proving what a great actor he was. That he could flip from antagonist to protagonist with just consummate ease, and be at home being the good guy or the bad guy. Not that he was inherently a good guy in this. He very shady, multifaceted character with a lot of edges to him. Yeah, this is about Mitchum's character. He used to be a private detective, and he's now settled for this life where he's got a little garage in the middle of a quiet American town, so he hopefully can live out the rest of his life in peace and harmony and not getting into any bother. But of course, it doesn't go smoothly for him when a figure from his past turns up and tells him he's got to go and see Kirk Douglas, who I don't think he's like a mafia boss, but like a bit of a hood with a few guys under his belt. And Mitchum has to go to see him to see what he wants. This, when he does go and sees him, brings all back from the past, so hence the title Out of the Past, where Mitchum, in his private eye days, had been hired by Kirk to track down Kirk's girlfriend, played by Jane Greer, as she had shot him 3 times and then eloped with £40,000 of his money. But Kirk's desperately in love with her and wants her back, so he sets Robert Mitchum off to track her down and to bring her back to him. But as in true film noir fashion, Mitchum himself falls in love with Jane Greer, and the pair decide to go on the run together and stay one step ahead of Kirk and the rest of the gang. Yeah, really, really good stuff. Jane Greer, I don't think I've seen her in anything else. She might even be on the pedestal of the best femme fatale I've ever seen. She's alluring, she's evil and every man that has anything to do with them finds their lives crumbling around their ears. Yeah, really, really great. The dialogue in this, the script is absolutely wonderful. There's one line where they're talking about Jane Greer having shot Kirk Douglas from close range 3 times and failed to kill him, and one of Kirk Douglas's henchmen uses the line, "You know, a dame with a rod is like a guy with a knitting needle." I just thought that was a fantastic line. You can't write stuff like that these days. Certainly the brigade won't be liking that. Yeah, it's twisty, it's turny. You have to concentrate on it. There's a lot of going, there's a lot of double crossing, there's a lot of triple crossing, there's a lot of film noir. Not to the level of me as the Maltese Falcon. Although that is a loved film and I did enjoy it, I felt that there was far too much going on and I struggled. It was a bit too much for my tiny head. But out of the past, I'm glad I waited and saved it for November. I can highly, highly recommend it to other fans of the genre who haven't seen it. Yeah, brilliant, brilliant film. So we followed that goodness up with actually some more goodness. Bullet Train from 2022. So we're coming more up to date, especially for me. Directed by David Leitch, and a good cast in this: Brad Pitt, Joey King, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Michael Shannon, Sandra Bullock, Logan Lerman, some brilliant cameos from Channing Tatum and Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, really, really good stuff. And I couldn't begin to tell you the plot of this film. God, it's mad. It's crazy. It's bonkers. There's all sorts going on. It's a group of hitmen and hit ladies, actually, all on this Japanese bullet train, all working for or against some Russian mobster who's taken over the Yakuza. And it's just bonkers. Everybody's killing each other. Brad Pitt's after this suitcase full of money that is being kept by 2 hitmen, and yeah, there's just all sorts going on, but it didn't detract from the film that half the time I didn't know who was against who, and so many twists and turns. It's cartoonish, bloody violence, absolutely bonkers. You've got to suspend all disbelief, and I said that a couple of weeks ago when I was talking about another film and made a West Ham quit, which a couple of people didn't like, which is quite fitting for this one actually, because it does play on forever blowing bubbles about 3 times through it, because it turned out that one of the characters, one of the hitmen, was a West Ham fan when he was a little boy. 2 brothers, one black one, one white one, and everybody's calling them brothers and everybody's confused about it. Michael Shannon as this Russian boss, when you did finally get to see him, he was good. There's lots of violence, as I say, lots of explosions, lots of crashes, everything you want in a film like this. Yeah, I could highly recommend it. I will go back to it again sometime in the future and watch it again, because it's just enjoyable crap, really. Yeah, good stuff. Up next on the conveyor belt of cinematic goodness, or maybe not so good, The Invasion from 2007. Directed by Oliver Hirschbiegel, starring the lovely Nicole Kidman, Daniel Craig, Jeremy Northam, Jeffrey Wright, and Veronica Cartwright, with a bit of a nod to the 70s invasion of the body snatchers, I suppose. Now, I watched this primarily because Arrow have got a bit of a sale on, and I know you can pick up the 4K quite cheap at the moment, so I thought I'd give it a watch with the aim of maybe picking up that 4K if I enjoyed it as I thought I might. But I've saved myself a bit of cash, I think, because this is just, I don't know, it's got nothing about it. It's got nothing about it at all for me. I love the 50s Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I love the 70s. For me, they flip-flop on which one I like the best, but there was just no need to have this film in existence whatsoever. It's dull, it's insipid, it's boring. It's, like I say, just no need for it. Just go and watch the older ones. Try the 70s one first, because I think that's the one that most people seem to like, even though I hold them both on equal footing. Yeah, just a dull film. I think the best part of it was Daniel Craig getting verbally friend zoned by Nicole Kidman. That did amuse me. He tried it on with her when she was a bit tipsy, and she's like, I don't want to lose you as a friend. Only Daniel Craig's worst nightmare in this film. Yeah, I think I gave it 2.5 stars on Letterboxd, and just that high because probably at the height of Nicole Kidman's powers, where she was at the most loveliest. So we had Nicole to look at for an hour and a half. But yeah, I can't recommend it, I'm afraid. I could probably never ever going to watch this again. So to cleanse the palate over that load of bloody rubbish, I went for Salem's Lot, 1979, directed by Toby Hooper, starring David Soul, who's Starsky or Hutch. I could never remember which one's which of them two. The brilliant James Mason. I love James Mason, one of my favourite actors. Bonnie Bedelia, who probably best known as being Mrs. McLean from the Die Hard films. Lance Kerwin as the young lad who helps David Soul. And I love this film. What a great film this is. I mainly watched it because there's a 4K in the offing, and I know Giz is very excited for that. And I thought I'd watch it and try and satiate my Salem's Lot watching for a while, so I don't rush out and pre-order that and save a bit of money. But it's backfired on me after rewatching this and just enjoying it so much. I just want the 4K now. Yeah, that didn't work at all. Now, a lot of people complain that this is probably overlong, because it was a TV two-parter over 3 hours. I think they 2 days, an hour and a half each. Yeah, a lot of people say it's slow, but not for me. Not for me. I love the 1970s aesthetics, and in them days, films were ponderous, but I enjoyed that. The first hour or so just gives you this introduction to this town with this creepy house and the people that live there, and getting to know each and every individual, and some of them are nice people, some of them are pretty quirky, like a lot of small-time American towns. Yeah, I think it's a population of 2,000, maybe 2011, if I can remember the sign correctly. If anybody does know, let me know. Yeah, so you get to know the people and the townsfolk, and David Soul, he used to live there as a little boy, and he's been drawn back because he's a horror writer, and he wants to write a house about this creepy house that's in Salem's Lot, where it's up on this hill and you can see it from any point in the town, and it's a house with a history of murder and spookiness. And then James Mason moves in there, who's this creepy guy who opens up a antique shop in the town, and he is like a familiar. Is that the term they use? Like a vampire's assistant, not a conduit, is it? It might be a familiar. Again, let me know if I got the wrong word. I probably have. You know what I'm like. And then the town has this breakout of vampirism. Everybody seems to be turning. You don't know who to trust. It's just great atmospheric horror that I really love. I think it's right up there. I gave it a 4.5 on Letterboxd, and it could even been a 5 if I was feeling a bit more generous. Yeah, just a great film with great design. Looks very much like Count Orlok from the Nosferatu films, and '79, I'd have been 10 when it was first on the telly. My brother was 14. We watched this and it creeped us the hell out of this. I remember my brother, he went to bed with a crucifix that night. You had the little kid scraping away at the window, which absolutely terrified my generation. Well, I don't think not really my generation, because I shouldn't have been watching this at 10 years old. It was far too scary. Uh, yeah, great stuff. Highly recommend Salem's Lot. And now, as I say, look forward to the 4K announcement. Oh, you caught me having a swig. Right, let's get on with this again. Next up, Skyfire from 2019, directed by Simon West. And I do like Simon West as a director. Con Air, Tomb Raider, The General's Daughter, everything he seems to do I kind of enjoy. Wang Zuki, Hannah Quinlivan, Jason Isaacs. Now, I've had this on the shelf for ages. I'm not really expected a great deal of it when I did get round to it. But when I saw Simon West was director, I thought I'd give it a go. And I really enjoyed this. I thought this was all right. If you think Jurassic Park, but instead of dinosaurs, you've got a volcano, then that's your film. Obviously, I'm not claiming that it's as good as Jurassic Park, nowhere near, but it's kind of enjoyable. Yeah, Jason Isaacs, he's got this not fun fair, like a holiday resort place, and he's built it on the island where there's a active volcano on it, and so what could possibly go wrong? And also on there's a team of scientists that are monitoring the volcano and its interactions and its likelihood to erupt, and when they tip him off that it's looking dangerous, of course Jason Isaac doesn't want to lose the money. You know the plot. He doesn't want to lose any money. He tells them that he'll carry on, and yeah, it all goes south. You can imagine what happens. But it's a good disaster film. I really enjoyed it. Some of the effects on it are very ropey. Some of the CGI isn't the best, and I think it had a big budget, this, for a Chinese film. And there's a lot of things that leave you shaking the head at the implausibility of it all. There's one scene where a cable car leaves its cables and goes flying through midair. So, of course, they've got no possible hope of surviving unless they slide down the side of a mountain and come to a rest and everybody's fine. There's some goodness where they're all in a jeep trying to escape the lava, and how many crashes and tumbles and jumps and stupid stunts this jeep goes. The jeep's fine, it's not got a mark on it. Yeah, so good it's so bad it's good. I wouldn't go quite that far, but it's not a good film. It's a bad film, but I really dug it. I really got something out of it, and I think a lot of people will. So if you haven't given Skyfire a go, yeah, I recommend it. Right, seeing as it was Bonfire Night week, I hoped to go out with a bang, but it was more like a wet fart, to be honest. Vile, from 2011, directed by Taylor Sheridan. Yeah, the same director who directed Wind River, so I had a bit of hope for this. Starring people I'd never heard of before in my life: Eric J. Beck, April Matson, Akeem Smith. So if you know any of them, answers on a postcard, please. Yeah, Vile, and this was a shit film. This was terrible. It's a Saw knockoff, and I got it from a charity shop, and before that it's been in CX, so everybody's got rid of it, it appears, when they've watched it. Yeah, a Saw rip-off, and just badly done. These four friends are travelling in this car. And when they stop to help this woman out who'd run out of petrol, she sprays some sort of knockout gas into the car. And when they wake up, they are in a basement with 4 or 5 other people, and they've got these tubes attached to the back of their head, which will release adrenaline when they are feeling pain. And they have 24 hours to collect so much adrenaline because they want to turn it into a drug, and then they can go free. And the way they've got to collect it is they've got to all take it in turns to torture each other until they've collected enough adrenaline. And it's just vile, not in the torture porn aspect, because I've seen a lot worse, but it was just vile how shockingly bad it was. I mean, I'm not a filmmaker myself, so I don't profess to know how to make films, but the framing was terrible, the editing was bad, the dialogue was absolutely awful. One of the worst films I've ever seen in my life. I might pass this on to somebody for a bit of a laugh, see what they think of it. Yeah, vile. Absolute rubbish. So, yeah, that was it for the week, guys. 8 titles. What did you think of them, as always? Do you agree with what I said? Do you disagree? I don't. Well, I don't bother. If you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. We won't fall out of it. We'll have a bit of a laugh. Give us a thumbs up if you like what I've done here today. Maybe think about subscribing if you want to see what I've watched this week, next week. Did that make sense? I don't think it did. But anyway, catch you later.